Welcome to Oh Brother, a podcast of three brothers trying to figure it all out, with your hosts, Brandon, Colin, and Aaron. On this week's show, Touch the Weather. Ahoy.
Ahoy.
I don't know what we're going to do with that other recording, because that was kind of weird, so...
What other recording?
What other? Exactly. What's on the show is on the show. So,
exactly.
Yes, it is another day. It's nice outside. What's new?
It's lovely. I had another about yesterday. We had some friends over to hang out, have some dinner. Just hang out, and we did another jigsaw puzzle, so it's fine.
As one does.
We did a big jigsaw puzzle yesterday. In only
do you?
5 hours, so
do you?
It's fine.
What makes a good jigsaw puzzle in your brain?
Okay, so for this particular activity of doing jigsaw puzzles with your friends, what you need. The key here is the collage jigsaw puzzle, right?
Mm.
So it really helps in this circumstance. If you want to hang out with your friends, if you want to put a puzzle together with others, right? You need a collage jigsaw puzzle because that way everybody can focus on individual parts and then you can just sort of slap them together at the end, right?
Right.
It's a much better process. We did one time that was like a picture. That was tough.
Not so good.
That was hard. That was hard mode.
Huh.
So the more collagey, the better, right? The last one we did before this was like super collagey. It was like book covers, and so it was like all very square, individual. Like everything was like.
Oh, that's
together.
Nice.
We did that one in like no time. Like
sure.
Literally like 2-3 hours done. This one took longer because it had a lot of like middling stuff, right? But this one is movie puns, so that makes up for it.
Yeah.
So that was good, but it was hard, but it was pretty good. So, but the collagey bits help when you can be like, okay, I'm going to work on this area.
Yeah.
I'm going to work on this area. I'm going to do this section. Because then you can kind of be sitting at all different spots on the table and just do whatever.
But still working on the same thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It makes the division of labor much better, right? Because like, oh, I'm doing this, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing this. And so it's fine. So it's all right.
That makes sense.
The end gets very stressful because everybody has like slightly different theories about how the end of a puzzle should work. Right.
Oh,
so that is intriguing. It gets mildly stressful because I'm like, I'll be like, stop focusing on this. Because some of them, one of my friends, what she will do is she will get a piece and she will just stare at that one piece and try to decide where this one piece goes. She will scrutinize it to death and say, what do you suppose this is? Where does this go? Blah, 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 blah. And she'll stare at the one piece for like ever.
Yeah.
Where at the end of a puzzle, I'm like, does this color look badly similar? Is this the right shape? I'm just going to try all the pieces that look the right shape and just like blah, blah. Okay.
Swapping them in pretty fast.
Yeah. But, it's good to have both of those approaches working at the same time so that you can kind of get, just kind of rolls through. So it's all right.
Putting puzzles together is definitely a situation where having different approaches is really beneficial. It is infuriating in the moment when you're
but
you're like,
especially when it's like when you're almost done. There's like 50 pieces left. Plus, you're always waiting because there's a rule that when you're putting a puzzle together, somebody will inevitably say, "Are you sure we've got all the pieces here?"
Yeah, and then you have that moment where it's
Are you sure we're not missing any pieces? And then you stop and you look at the floor and you check out. Right, that happens all the time because there's this interesting situation that happens in a puzzle where you get done and like the your spatial awareness becomes skewed. So you're looking at this like massive puzzle, but what looks like a large number of empty spaces in it.
Right.
And you look at your pieces and your brain is struggling to go. Your brain always goes, there's literally no way that these pieces can fit in there and it'll be full.
Yep.
Like
every
it's impossible.
time.
Every single time that happens. So, and it's usually fine, right? There was one time where it definitely wasn't fine, but other than that, it's almost
other than
fine.
the one time.
Yeah, these extenuating circumstances, but like, it's fine. It's fine. But somebody will always say, "Are you sure there's enough pieces here?" So last night I was just waiting for it. There it is. All right. That means we're almost done. Good.
Right. We're
That's
good.
the signal.
That's the sign. Yeah.
Pay
attention, people.
Almost finished.
There it is.
Someone doubted our ability to finish, which means invariably we are almost done. So it's fine. Yeah. That's basically all that's new with me. I did a puzzle until way too late last night.
Oh.
And then yeah, that's about it. That is my exciting life right there. There we go. Boom. Full of excitement and wonder.
Sounds wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm continuing to learn things about the GX, and does different stuff. I haven't quite figured out patterns of when it will do certain things and when it won't do certain things, because the car definitely does things. So one of the things that it does is it will assist you in changing the position of the seat and steering wheel to help you get out of the car easier. It kind of gets everything, kind of expands out and moves everything away, so it's easier to get out. However, it's really cued into whether you have the seat buckle plugged in or not. If you're buckled and you turn off the car, nothing changes. But the moment you unbuckle, the steering wheel retracts and moves higher, and the seat moves back and lower. And then when you get back in, you press start, it all kind of collapses back together and enfolds you in the little cockpit. This is fine. You can turn this feature off. It has
okay, good. I was like, my brain was going, no, I don't.
Yeah, you can definitely just. There are three settings. There's off. I forget what it's called, like not mild, but then like extreme. Where
mild,
I don't remember the terms.
Like shoves you up there like a F1
pretty
driver,
much,
just like
where it's like if it's off, the seat doesn't change position at all. If it's the up one tier, it changes it like just a little bit, and then the other one is like slams you on the floor and like really spreads you apart. Which is,
I think of those like well, I don't know. Like my mind is thinking about something and I don't know where it comes from, but like there's like a sci-fi car, right? Where you like get in and like the cockpit like slides over the top of your head, like
exactly.
a World War II fighter, like a
and
Tron motorcycle or something.
Yeah,
right?
and
like
the steering wheel comes down in their lap, right? And they launch off into space.
Yeah.
Yes, it definitely feels like that when the car is moving and adjusting you. I really like this. However, when you have children, and all of a sudden the seat starts to like come towards, it's like the trash compactor scene from Star Wars, right? They're just watching this wall move closer and closer to them. So it's definitely
turn it off.
Exactly, where it's like, okay, maybe I won't have this on full bore. Is definitely a nicety. And then it does this other thing when you put it again. It has done this, and I don't know the exact conditions under which it does this every single time. I've been trying to pin it down. It when you put it in reverse, the side mirrors automatically adjust downward so that you can see your corners, right, when you're backing up. It's really that's really nice. But it hasn't done it every time. But then every time I put it into reverse, I'm not in the same situation. So I'm trying to figure out when it decides it needs to do it versus when not to, is my current conundrum.
Does Does that mean it's like not working properly? Is that what that means?
No, well, no, because I was doing some reading.
Does it mean it's broken? Like,
No, I was doing I was
only
doing
does
some,
it like every once in a while. I don't really know.
right. All these things of like usually that is the case, but I was reading and people were saying that it doesn't in certain circumstances, and I think it has to do with proximity detection. If it thinks you're close to something, it will do it versus not, which is an interesting.
That is an interesting plan. Like, if it thinks there's a small turtle behind your car, it'll be like, "Whoa, whoa,
yes,
look down."
Yes,
Easy turbo,
easy for sure. So I don't know. It's been interesting so far. But yeah, I'm definitely ready to get into some snow, and I'm not that I have, but there are
gravel. That's what you mean.
Sand and gravel. there are many a Facebook group dedicated to enthusiasts so that you can join to talk about modifications that people make to their vehicles, which is an interesting thing where people are like, oh, I'm going to buy this luxury SUV and then I'm going to change everything about it. Which,
listeners, I am affixing my elbows to the table and resting my palms,
rubbing your temples.
Yes, rubbing my eyes with my palms.
Well, it's things like
hands.
It's things like
just shaking my head back and forth ever so slowly.
It's things like I watched a video about how to add USB ports to the center console for the back seat. Is that a great modification that you can make so that people in the back can charge their devices?
They'll be fine.
You can make that. There's a little panel, and then the wiring's really easy. And then
there's one thing I've learned in my years of life. People lie and say things like the wiring in a car is easy. It's never easy. Never how it works.
Well,
something always goes strange. You're like, why is this doing that? I don't understand.
Yes. I have watched many videos of them removing the head unit and the wiring behind that. And I'm like, nope, no, thank you.
Even my friend's dad, when I was younger, he was a Volkswagen enthusiast, right? And even on something as simple wiring as a Volkswagen, okay, every once in a while, things would happen. Like he would wire something, and then he would like turn the blinker on, and the windshield wipers would move. Like,
sure.
Wait a minute.
That's something.
Like
is
the
amiss.
horn goes off. You're like, oh, hold on. Well, that's not right. That's
well, and then the other thing that I get into my brain of, there are all these things where you watch the video. And it truly is a 30-minute process. You're not really diving into the guts or anything. You're just dealing with, very surface level adding features. The thing that I keep coming back to is, to me, a few things are more annoying in a vehicle than when internal body panels squeak and creak and move. And a really good way to make sure that this happens very quickly is to take them on and off a couple times.
I was going to have children in your car.
Well, that too, where they are stress tested constantly. But then to add that, well, because like once when they're
because they're all like clipped on now.
They're not all clipped on, and
like
those little plastic clips and the spacers, all those wear out. And if you're putting it on and off, so it's like, okay, because people go, oh, we just do the upgrades over time, and then I'm like, first off,
I gotta take the door off 4 times.
The little
tab is gonna break, and then you gotta like.
Some guys like, oh, you can add this thing and then come back and do it, and it's like I have to remove the head, the control unit, the center console thing, like 3 separate times. No, like that is not what I would want to do at all.
Fine. If you're going to be going in off-road mode, a little bit of squeaking is what you want, right? You need some squeakiness to let you know
feedback from the car.
Yeah. To let you know that you're off-road. That's how you know, right? Whenever things in the car are shifting and making weird creaking noises, that's how you know, right? That's what all off-road enthusiasts understand. Like you need your car to be making odd noises. So that means you're doing it right. So I think fine.
So
also the problem nowadays is like you'll watch one of those things and they'll be like, oh, if you don't want to take this panel off, all you got to do is download my link for the 3D printed access hatch. You screw into the thing. You're like, no.
like, you're
Stop
it's like,
there.
yeah, I do need a 3D printer. You're right.
I mean,
yeah,
I do, but I also don't because I don't really understand I don't know how to use it. So like that would be a broken thing in a hurry, I imagine. But
just lots of melted plastic in a
yeah,
burning on the floor. Yeah. I actually did a meet and greet the other day with a client, and they were actively 3D printing something in a back room, and boy, did it smell. I was not.
Some of them are like mega loud too. Like,
yeah, I was not prepared for just the smell of heat, which in my brain is always like anytime you smell that where it's like the plastic or rubber is hot, like that is an immediate.
True. Except in additive manufacturing, so it's fine.
Yeah, embrace the danger, right? That's what they're really doing there. So, no, I haven't gotten into 3D printing car parts yet, but now that you mention it, it would be fun to be able to 3D print one of those little clips whenever you break 5 of them trying to get a panel.
Listeners, this is how it starts. I want you to make sure that you understand that you're here at the beginning of times. Colin's going to start with, all I got to do is attach this thing and I can have USB connectors in my back seat. How long, listeners, is it before he goes, oh, I got the thing. I just plug it into the engine and I can tinker with the compression on my cylinder heads to get maximum gas mileage for off-road mode. Like,
yeah, it doesn't help that
like I just plug in my laptop and I hit this button and I just auto selects my new tune for the type of weather we're having that day. It's totally easy, man.
Yeah,
it's fine. Like,
it does not help that on a daily basis I drive by a store called Overland Addict. That
does not help. This is the worst. You need a new route. You cannot drive by there every day. This is gonna be horrible. You're gonna rock up back home with like gas cans on the roof and then go, what? No.
Yep, a modded front bumper and changing the suspension and tire size and added what people love to do in the GX is they throw away the rear seats, which it gives them some more depth, and then they build custom cabinets in the back for storage.
Yeah, for pet sitting accessories. Clearly.
Clearly, this is a business expense. Exactly. This is what I'm thinking.
Obviously, right? Tomorrow, by next Friday, gonna come home. Megan will be like, "Were these step sides here?" Yeah. Those were.
Of course they were.
Yeah, they came with the car. What are you talking about?
Oh, the snorkel? Yeah, that was in the back when we bought it. I just got it. I just tinkered with that.
It just wasn't attached. It came with the car. But
yeah,
it was sitting in the back. You didn't see it. It's fine. Like this gas can. Yeah.
I didn't tell you that the hood scoop. Yeah, they had a spare hood for this, and I just finally got around to getting that. Yeah, no, it's
the shackles and winch. Yeah, they said it came with the car, but they didn't have it attached yet, so I had to go back and do that. It was
and pick that up. But, it was part of the package that came with the car.
They were fixing it for me though.
Yeah,
so I
got it all snuck in there. Yeah, I haven't stopped at the store, but it's definitely a forbidden siren call where I just want to, I just want to stop in and just say hi. That's where it starts, and talk shop.
That's. I don't know if you're ready.
I don't think I am.
That's a commitment, Colin. Walking in that door is a commitment.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to be fully prepared for what's about to happen in your life if you go through that door.
I know. It's
one of those doors that you can't ungo through.
This is the problem.
Once you're in, you'll be in that store and you'll be like, just maybe one toe strap.
What? I
take
this
that for sure?
Can I take this out just to see how it would fit or look?
Yeah,
I'll just pull closer.
That makes sense. I totally need that.
I need a toe strap,
and then you'll be like, well, this bumper guard is actually pretty good, really, when you think about it. For all the use I'm using out of the back, and with all these pet sitting accessories that I'm taking in and out of the back of the car, this bumper guard really is a key feature.
No, no, I know my Achilles heel. My Achilles heel will be the phrase, "Do you have some just slightly more aggressive tires.
No,
That's the phrase I'm worried about slipping out of my mouth.
Yeah.
No,
just a tread pattern.
Just
Because what
slightly more
the
aggressive.
inside of my car is too quiet. What I really need is a tire hum on the road. I just need to hear like
something
while I'm
that'll
driving.
something really help make my long drives really monotonous and
yeah
and annoying.
Car is too luxurious and quiet. I need to make more road noise. Really, that's what I need in my life. I need more road noise. What we got in terms
of so I'm staying away from that store because I know.
Or oh no, wait, here it is. I found it. I do a lot of pets at night, so this light bar might actually be a great right. You're like, oh, yeah. I mean, these roof lights. Though. I mean, how handy would that be? Going up to a Southwest Missouri house at night.
Boom. The light of 1,000 suns. I'd appreciate it. It's for it's for safety, is what we want to make sure. Safety.
I want to make sure. Yeah, it's for safety purposes.
The
spotlight. Yeah, the spotlight's totally important. Obviously,
if the dog gets loose, somebody has to go and find it.
Yeah.
So
these KC lights. Yes. On the front, right? That's definitely important.
So I'm staying away from the Overlanding store.
That's a good idea.
It's a very
have
interesting.
The shovel like attached to the outside of the car. Like
that's what you need. No, on the back swing gate, what they do is they reinforce the hinges and then they put more racks on the outside of your swing of the gate, so that you can really load up more stuff there.
Your sand rails and your shovels and your
are necessary. But yeah, Overlanding really took off the last 3 years because flights were crazy and everyone went, well, let's just drive everywhere. Gas was really cheap, so that there's a huge community who went out, bought 4Runners, GXs, Land Cruisers, and 570s. And they also bought a ton of like full size trucks, like Tundras, and then kitted them out to go trailing and driving long distances and camping and living out of them as well.
Oh, are you going to get a roof tent?
I so badly want a roof tent. It's really
kind of cool looking.
Yeah. So what you do with
I have no experience with actually using one, but they look kind of rad.
And what you can do with this is you can actually have a roof tent that pops up and have the roof part, and then you have a ladder that comes down across the back, but you leave your swing gate open. So you descend into another tented area that's being kept open by your wide swing gate off the back. And so you can move seamlessly from the interior of your car, where all of your new cabinets and storage bins and cooking areas, into your living quarters, which are on.
Do you do the high-tech modification of like super gluing a penny over the little sensor so that whenever you open the door, like
you don't wear your battery down?
Yeah, so the light doesn't come on every time you open the rear gate. You just have the switch. You push the button. Okay, now it's fine.
Yeah.
High-tech mods, people.
That's what we're all about here. Yeah, only the highest technology.
That other guy would pull the panel off and route it to a switch, but no. Super glue a dime on that thing. It'll be all right.
It will be okay. Yes, everything will be fine. So, yes, that's the status of that.
Very exciting.
I know. So no modifications. Not modifying. No, we're not. I can't do that. I need to get it broken in first.
I said yet.
I know. Once we get a few miles on it, then we'll really start seeing how we can improve this baby. And because that's what I want. I think I'm a much better engineer
than Lexus.
Right? Lexus, Toyota. I know what this car really needs. Don't you tell me otherwise. Don't be silly.
Of course, how could they?
which is why I'm trying to focus more on the this like the internal comforts of like, oh, add some chargers here, not like let's change how this car completely handles on the road and how it functions. That's what I'm an expert at.
I mean, it's just baby steps to the same goal. So
I just gotta get comfortable playing with it. That's
I just practice soldering. That's really what I need to do.
When I get to that point where I'm soldering, I just send over the help.
So, anything else exciting happening in the land other than not modifying your new car?
Not modifying the
definitely not.
Well, no, nothing very exciting. Onboarding a bunch of new hires, so that's fun. So the next 2 weeks will be immeasurably exhausting. But hopefully the end is in sight of all of that. I'm sitting over here just before we're recording. I'm glad that you had a delay in updating, because I got a notification of the Amazon driver was getting ready to deliver at the office, which I'm at the office, so that's good. But also the door to the outside is very much locked on the weekends, and so I had to sprint to the front door because the delivery driver was just turning their back to the door because it was locked, going to take away the things that I need to hand to my new staff.
Like, no, come back, sir.
I did. I opened up and I was like, I'm here.
I forgot it was locked. Okay, I'm sorry.
So I have my bottles of mace and my first aid kits. So we're all good.
Well, hey, there we go. What an onboard package.
Here's a weapon and here's how to fix it.
Yeah, that's a weird first. You give them context. You're just like, okay, here's some of your stuff. What?
The mace is a citronella based animal deterrent spray. Dogs are very sensitive to citronella and they stay away from it. So you can spray this at them. It also works on people too. So it's kind of a better, more
for one.
Yeah, exactly. It's a twofer. And then the first aid kit is just a very basic. It's not a very basic. It's a slightly upgraded from that. It's more of a. I went for a trail first aid kit because it assumes you have less things accessible to you.
Oh, yeah.
So you get more items with that kind of starting base. So it's because you can get some like really super basic ones, like here's some tweezers and some gauze, and I'm like, I
need one Band-Aid.
Right, I need a little bit more than that. So yeah, when people come on board, they get a cool hat, they get poop bags, keys, mace, a first aid kit. Later they get a shirt and a hoodie, all sorts of good stuff going on over here.
Like how mace comes before shirt. I like the priorities here.
Hey, yes. Well, part of that is
mace is also cheaper than shirt, probably. So
it is. It is actually cheaper than shirt because they don't have to custom design the shirt.
It's definitely cheaper than hoodie. So that's 100% confirmed.
Yeah, hoodie comes a bit later in the process. Make sure people stick around. Basically, I give them everything that can be returned that's not customized to them, like the one size fits all hat. I'll give you that thing. I'll give you the mace and first aid kit that you will return. And so fair. So yeah, just getting all that kind of stuff ready, and it's gonna be a hectic week. I already started pre-onboarding some people today. Tomorrow we hit the ground running with new staff, and then next weekend onboarding 2 people for weekends. So hopefully that will get us covered. That's the new innovative procedure of when one person our motto used to be when one person leaves, you hire 2 people. This time, one person left and we hired 5. So
That's it's a plan.
It's a plan. So, and it's already working out because one person shadowed for one day and said, "Oh, never mind." So, so it's like, great. I still have backups. This is why I did that. Because people they don't know. And it's not their fault. And I mean, I talk a lot about what we do, but until you're in a visit, you don't really know what to experience or how the process of moving from one visit to the next really works. So we do our best to give them as much information as possible, but we fully understand that they've got to put in an evening or an afternoon or a weekend to get an idea of what that actually looks like and how we implement stuff. And I recognize that they may have an idea. I can explain it as much as I know how. They can watch a video, they can listen to one of my podcasts about it, but until you're actually in house doing a visit, you really learn, oh, this is not what I thought or whatever. So as I have been driving about the city and stopping in at coffee shops to work or get a coffee, I have been talking to the baristas and seeing if they're interested in bet sitting or if they've heard of it as well. To just be like, hey, are you looking for just like 5 hours a week? Would you play with dogs?
Yeah. How do you feel about pets and sitting?
Come to my company. Yeah, I'm totally that guy.
Poaching the baristas, man. Well, it's hard.
I try not to steal people, but also I'm going, hey, like they probably basically I'm trying to think of who has part-time jobs or even full-time jobs that would be looking for something extra periodically. That's kind of where my brain is right now, and targeting those people to talk to. And usually it starts with my intro is I come in with a couple flyers and some business cards, and I say, oh, do you have a community board where I could post about my business? And they always ask, what's your business? And then I can, if they have a community board, I can
glad you asked.
Go post it. Or if they either
funny
way,
you should ask.
I could talk about my business. Because I even did a meet and greet the other day, and the person I was talking to, I was asking some questions, and she said this phrase of, well, when I trained this, we always had them take the litter out to the trash. And I paused and I went, trained who? And she went, oh, I used to manage a pet sitting company in the early 2000s. And I went, I'm hiring. You can, there's an application on my website. You can apply, please.
I'll send you a link right now.
That's basically, I was really close to being like, here's a direct link. Come on. So trying to get the word out. Anyway, that's but yeah, that's all the fun stuff we've got going on. Unfortunately, there's not too much in the world of outside of that. I'm looking around my office currently saying, is there anything new or no? What about you?
I don't think so. We're just doing some stuff. Holiday time. It's time for holiday headache time. So, but I don't need to tell you that because it's like your busiest time of the year ever. So,
so much fun.
Yay.
So for you, it's a headache because of the time constraint, or just and I'm sure also the general distractedness and unattentive nature of the kids kind of during that.
The whole we're distracted, we're off topic, we're all doing that stuff because it's like, oh, we're gonna be in school for 2 weeks, and then we're gonna be off for a week, and then we've got three something more weeks, and it's Christmas time, so it's like, need to sort of plan out my my life here. What is going on? How does this work? So just sort of thinking about that, trying to plan my life accordingly, hoping that my new windows in my classroom didn't just leak disastrously on Friday.
Oh,
Mystery time. So
what a
we'll see.
wonderful mystery to walk into tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't really know. I was very grumpy about this whole situation anyway. So like, I don't know. Like, basically, here's the
What
Cliff Notes
happened?
version. All right, so last Monday, right, was a in-service day. So no kids, but I had to be at school doing stuff, right? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna come in a little bit early and I'm gonna do some stuff, blah blah blah. I walk into my classroom and it's destroyed. Right? Like my desk is all moved, my computer's all messed up, my desks are all moved sideways because they had replaced the windows in my classroom.
Now,
But like
you
they
didn't know about this?
No, 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 I didn't.
Oh no.
I don't really have words to describe my anger on this family friendly show, but
Okay.
know that rage inducing is where I was at. I was so mad. I was so angry. These people came in and they just like destroyed all my stuff. They like screwed up everything. It's a whole deal. So I was like really angry. They tried to put, I have those like, you know, those really like terrible school pull down shades,
Uh-huh.
right? So I have those in my room, but like they have to be put up just so, otherwise they don't work, right? Did they bother to put them back just so? No, of course not. No. Why would we do that? Why would we ever do anything like that?
Exactly.
There was like cement dust all over my classroom. There was broken glass on my floor.
Oh
I don't really know
no.
I don't really know how they did that. That was a mystery. Like, what are you idiots doing that you broke all this glass? What is going on? Why are you so incompetent? Like big hunks too. Like, and this is like safety glass.
Oh my
So, like,
gosh.
I don't really understand like what you did here. Like, this is like industrial window, like safety rated glass. So like, I don't know how they broke it, but they did.
That's crazy.
So it was just like everywhere. So I've spent like all week like fixing this junk, and like my windows look bad because I don't think they're done. And so there's like these huge gaps between the window and the cement wall where the old windows used to be. So like I didn't trust that they're finished properly, right? I mean,
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
so like could they be done? Maybe. Were they all sealed up 100% properly? I don't know. So I lined the windows with like dust mop heads, right, just in case, because it rained really really bad Friday.
Like along on the windowsill.
Yeah, and then some on the floor under the window. So we'll see tomorrow. Test run. We'll see how that went. But I was so incredibly angry about all this thing. And then my boss was like, "Oh, today I want to meet with you guys and talk about your frustrations." And I was like, "No, you don't.
No.
No.
Cool
No.
down period.
You don't need that. You don't want that in your life today. You always talk about what a struggle it is for like finding the balance between doing stuff and like pleasing others. So today is not the day to come speak to me. You don't want to be here."
Yeah.
Okay. So that was exciting. Been dealing with the fallout of that all week. And the surprise of like, is somebody going to come finish these windows? Do they leak? I don't know.
Will you be tasked with cleaning up after them?
Well, of course. Because I was tasked with cleaning up last time.
Yeah.
So,
Not like, wow.
You know, whatever. So, yeah, that was my excitement for the week. My windows were destroyed. And now I have windows that don't open. So, I don't know how I feel about that either. Like,
well,
That's awkward.
Yeah, I'm sure they said that was for a safety reason or blah blah blah.
I'm sure it's because they're cheaper. Because solid pane windows are less expensive than sliding or hung windows that open.
Fair enough.
So I'm sure that's 100% the reason.
No, it's safety. Safety, my friend.
Yeah, not being able to leave the building, that's not safe. That's not that's not good.
No. Well, they're not going to pay for a ladder, so it's both.
I mean, look, it's fine, but like it's definitely not safe. So that's that. It's very annoying being a person that teaches weather science to having a window that doesn't open. That's bothersome because the weather is on the other side of the window.
Well, but you don't want to touch the weather or anything. You just need to see it.
You want to.
You just see. That's
However,
all you really need.
Now I have thought, I had an epiphany. I should get some of those liquid chalk markers things. And then I can just like write stuff on my window instead. So now that it's like just one big fat flat plane of glass, I should probably be utilizing this space with those like glass markers.
You should absolutely be doing that. And so you could even get the kids involved in doing that too.
Yes, we can write all kinds of
assignments,
like sciencey stuff on there.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure a fault line diagram would look really beautiful on my window.
Well, yeah, because then, it's something else you can continue to add to throughout the year, or
like do it for like whatever unit or lesson. Like we're gonna put this information up here. It's important, like your anchor chart situation, right? But like, and then I can just like wipe it off and it's gone. So that might be something to look into. What markers write best on glass?
So see, it's not all
that's the real. I mean, I'm trying to find one positive thing here. It'd be interesting to see the look on my principal's face if she walks in my room for an observation. It's like, what have you done to your window? Like, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
And I have improved. I'm using my environment.
I've improved the situation. Also, do you have some spackle to clean up this ledge that they busted hunks out of this concrete on whenever they were taking the old window out? Do you have some of that I can use?
And a trowel, please.
Yeah. Ask the maintenance department, hey, can you just leave a bucket of that in here? I'll do it. Because, it won't get done otherwise. But
please, and also please stop touching my things.
Yeah. Mostly, let me do this because number one, if I ask you to do it, it will never happen. Number two, I need some control back in my life of my classroom. Stop touching my stuff.
Look, it's not that I don't trust you, but
I don't trust you.
I don't trust.
I mean, this wasn't the maintenance people's fault. I don't even think they knew that the windows were coming. Oh. So, like, this is just yet another communication breakdown, but not in a good way. Not in a good, like, Led Zeppelin way. Like a bad way.
Oh, the bad kind. Oh, that's what you're focusing on.
Where no one knows what's going on.
Now, why would we bother to pay attention to things?
Yeah. Well, I did tell my principal because she did come and talk to me for some reason. And I was like, look, this kind of thing and other things makes me look like a moron because administration will say, do this. And so I do it. And I'll tell the kids, do this. Some instances, I send home notes to the parents and say, we're doing this.
Yeah.
And then like 2 days later, I get, well, actually, No. It's already done.
Yeah. No,
sorry.
That's bad.
It's done already. The die has been cast. We must now live with our decisions.
Yeah, we don't get to back out of this, right? That is not in the cards.
I already told everyone what we're doing. You don't get to be like, no, actually, we're not doing it.
And that is so annoying and frustrating.
I hate it so much.
And I definitely have that tendency to continue to change and adjust, which is good. But at some point, you have to just say, no, a decision has been made. This is what we're doing. Sure, could we continue to yank the chain and jerk people around? Yeah, that's absolutely within our power. Is that the right thing to do? Is that we're going to waste? I think of this a lot. Am I going to waste the goodwill that people have towards me right now on this? And usually the answer is no.
Yeah, well, it's also frustrating because it's like, okay, the way that I've received this information, right? It seems to indicate that this is the plan. Somebody has put thought into the plan. There's like a big email, right, with stuff, you know,
Sure.
and this indicates that somebody put some thought into it. This is wrong. This is the wrong assumption to make.
Yes. No.
They went, oh, we need to do this. I'm gonna send this email to everyone to do it.
Yeah, have to.
And later they realize, oh, I didn't actually think about this plan. I didn't actually plan a plan. I just like said words, and so now I realize that those words don't work. We have to do something, but like that's not my fault. That's on you, buddy. I didn't do that. I'm just doing what you told me, and I was doing it in a timely fashion. I was trying to relay the information quickly because that is how information works the best, right? If I just say, doing this now, I'm done, move it along. Because I have my own things to worry about. I'm like, yeah, here's this other thing's happening anyway. Next, blah 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 blah. Like, so, yeah. So,
well,
that's the fun excitingness.
But it really does get to a lot of the failure to plan and working on and really taking into other people's schedules, things that are on them. There's that saying, like, I think about this of going like, it's not my fault, but it is my problem. Like, we have to own up to a lot of those kind of things. But in many cases, what has happened is they have taken like their emergency. They are trying to make their emergency my problem. And
yeah, like, and no, I didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Going like, I'm not the one who didn't think through all this stuff. That was your role in this, right? That's not to say, oh, I was just told to do it, so blah blah blah. That's not. We're not shirking
but it's
our
like
responsibility.
you didn't take into account my need to respond to this. Like,
yeah.
What does that mean for me to have to respond to this crisis that you have created, right? Because now, all this means, anytime all this happens, is I have to lose time.
Yep.
From whatever it was I'm doing, which allegedly you tell me is the most important thing. Oh, my classroom instructional time is important. Blah 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 blah. No, lies. It's all lies because they keep changing their mind. They keep moving things around and taking it comes out of my instructional time. So like, you stop lying to me. Just tell me. Just at least don't lie. Just tell me that this is more important than my class. I disagree with you, but at least you're telling me the truth. Whatever. Like, stop lying to me.
Yeah, and that's because then you really do see you really see people's priorities in the situation of what's actually important or what's actually motivating them in those times when they start to change or try and get out of something when they're under pressure.
Yeah. Right. So that's the other problem, right? Is like the optics appear to be one way, but like in actuality it's something else. So like my other problem is they did all this stuff where they have like we're gonna have like emergency drill practice. That's fine. That's a relatively important situation.
Sure.
We need to know that. But they came up with all this stuff. They did all these things. But like when I looked at the times, they just decided to do every single drill at the exact same time every day. Like,
ew.
Wait a minute.
Why?
First of all, that's dumb because like whatever you're supposed to be teaching during this time, now you're not teaching, and you're going to lose like over the course of the months that like it's like one here, one there, one there. But the first one was bad because it was the tornado drill and they did like 4 in a week because they're but like that's like X number of approaching hours of instructional time that's lost or because right, and it's not useful. Like we don't need to do this many times. This is not a thing. right? I don't understand what you're doing, why you can say this. My pet theory is that it's just because the superintendent can now say, revamped emergency preparedness plan on his little, look how great I am sentence part of his like board report or whatever. But like, what it's actually doing is just taking away from everybody's day and like disrupting everyone in the world.
Right.
Like, we need to have emergency drills. It's important to understand what to do in emergency situations.
Okay.
Having 4 tornado drills in a week is not necessary.
Oh, so it's not just checking things off boxes. You have to implement them appropriately. Is that what I'm hearing?
I don't
know. That seems pretty tough. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would expect that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Grumpy.
Well, sorry.
That's right. That is just that kind of idiocy. Like, what do you mean this is happening? Like, this next coming week, this is going to, okay, so I want to preface this next sentence. This is going to sound very negative in context, but let me explain. We are apparently now required to go to the Veterans Day Assembly, right? The high school Veterans Day Assembly. So this in and of itself is not a bad thing, right?
Sure.
Veterans Day is whatever.
Course.
It's important. These important people in our lives to acknowledge and blah, blah, blah. But our Veterans Day Assembly is ostensibly the same every year. And it's like this big serious affair, which it should be, right? What? Big, long, boring affair. Is this really a place for 5th and 6th graders to be?
Yeah.
Is this the prime environment to have a 6th grade class sit still and quietly for an hour?
Right.
No.
Yeah. Answer's no.
Is this age appropriate for a 12-year-old? No. No, it is not. And the big problem is because our school is divided into like K6 and then 7-12. That means that if the 5th graders go, these kids are going to have to watch basically the exact same assembly for 8 years, starting now.
Oh, interesting.
Because it's the same thing every year.
Yeah. Huh.
Right. It's not a bad thing, but
no.
By the time they get to sophomores and juniors, they're going to be so done that they are not going to care about the Veterans Day Assembly in the way that you think they ought to.
Right.
But they won't because they've been like, I've seen it 800 times. It's the same. And so I worry that that is bad for the long-term sustainability of the ceremony, right? Like, this is not like, I understand, like, it's because they're lazy and they don't have a plan for the, like, basically normally what happens is the 7-12 go to the assembly, the elementary school of which we are a part gets a coloring sheet and they talk about veterans. That's not age appropriate for a 6th grader either. Right.
No.
So like,
yeah. So what do you,
they don't know what to do with us. So they just like give us this like random nonsense that's not good for our classes.
Right.
So like, guys, if you want me to show a video in class about Veterans Day, I can do that. We can do something, blah, 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 whatever. But going and sitting in like a very somber, serious assembly for an hour, probably not the best place for, especially these 6th graders. They're not, no, like it's not really what they need in their life. They can't sit still ever, right? Do they take anything seriously? No. So like, I don't.
That's hard. Yeah.
I feel like this is not an appropriate solution. Now, I'm not saying this because I don't want to go to Veterans Day. I want everybody listening to understand that is not where I'm coming from. Right?
Loud and clear, yes.
It's not like I don't like veterans. Right? I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm doing.
Sure.
I'm saying that this is not a developmentally appropriate way to celebrate Veterans Day for a 12-year-old.
Sure.
Right? This is what I'm saying. So like that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm really worried about. And I need to talk to somebody about this tomorrow. And I'm going to get hate in the email I'm going to send. But I need to say, just like, look, I think this plan is not great.
So what? Well, so we always like to address problems and have solutions. So what you would spend that time doing?
I would rather them, like, if they want to do that, like, maybe not on Veterans Day, but a different time during the week, because the Veterans Day simply is produced by the National Honor Society, right? So if you would like to engage the children, it doesn't have to be on Veterans Day. At another day during the week, you can have some members of National Honor Society come to the class and discuss what Veterans Day is, and give a presentation that is more geared towards 12-year-olds, right? I will set aside part of my class time. I'm not giving you the whole hour because we have to do science. But if you would like 20 to 30 minutes for like half my class time, that's fine. I can accommodate that. Come in, do the thing, talk to the kids, something. I don't know. If you want me to play a video for them, I can do that. I can come up with my own thing to do. I can do something else. But
well, yeah, that's actually a really good idea of we need to do this in just a slightly different context to meet the kids where they are. And yeah, I like having a one-on-one presentation or that video, right, that you can put together really easily. That'd be really good.
Yeah. The NHS would like to make a short video that I can then play my children. That'd be even better, but I will find one. I will do something. I will do it myself if you want. I don't care. But hour-long assembly where we must be somber and quiet. That's not really going to work out.
That's fine. You worry too
I'm
much.
partially concerned because during one of the tornado drills, right, we were in the tornado shelter FEMA building thing for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. 2 of my children got ISS for punching each other. So you see where my concern is coming from. That's
rich.
This is where my concern is coming from. This is not.
So you're saying it's founded. That's what I'm hearing.
I just want to make perfectly clear that this is not coming from like a disrespect of veterans and armed services. This is coming from, I don't trust 6th graders to sit for an hour. They can't.
Fair. Fair enough. That makes sense.
Yeah. So.
Well, good luck on that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. That'll be a fun email to write in the morning. That won't be received well. So.
No.
Because they're very like rah, go army. So like, I feel like this won't be bad, but I just need to tell somebody like, I have concerns about this. Don't really know if this is a great idea. Can we do? Is there a third option? Is there a third option between sitting for an hour and American flag coloring page? Is there perhaps a middle ground that we
sitting while coloring the American?
Oh no!
Do that. Fine.
Yes.
Well, best of luck to you on that.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll check in next time to see how
poorly that went. Well, maybe not. It might not. Well, it might not have happened yet, depending on when we record this next week. So
we'll try and record earlier in the week so we can have a couple days to get caught up. These things happen.
True.
Yeah, we'll do that.
It'll be all right.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, lots going on this week. We'll get caught up in all this next time.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay. Very good. Love you.
Oh, I love you too.
Bye.
Bye.